In the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring.
You shall not pass!
An alliance once existed between elves and men. Long ago we fought and died together. What have we done?
Good morning, Valhalla! Dr. Egg-Digger Outlaw! Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000! The beautiful Leia Rose! Psychodog 9! DJ Ronnie G! Roll Tide, Geely, Roll Tide, brother! Project Storytime! Hashtag Team Leia! The Rooster Diva! The lovely Sherry! Timon Blip! What's up, my brother? Joker Voice, what's up, Mr. J? Psychodorb 9 has the right idea. Boy, do my neighbors hate me this morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today, of course, is the Rooster Dave, Bob, and Project Storytime. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. You're going to need some Ricola before this is over.
Seriously.
Ricola. Good morning, guys. Good morning. How is everybody out there doing? It's one of those mornings. I had to find some way to get excited because, good God, we just watched another boring episode of Amazon's Wings of Power.
This show is amazing in how it's able to have things happen and make it seem like nothing's happening.
So
boring.
Multiple times while we were watching this, I was like, look at this scene. Look how great this scene looks. And then everyone in it brings it down. It's like a scene will look great. I mean, there's this scene with Elrond and Gil-galad at this table, and you see all this elven stuff behind them, and they're like in the woods having dinner, and it's like the scene looks great. And yes, Sherry, I did say Wings of Power. The scene looks great, but everything in it is a bore and a chore to get through.
And the dialogue is so contrived and
it's awful.
superficial.
Absolutely. It's boring. It's boring. You have these beautiful scenes, these backdrops and it's just boring. And it's I prefer Rees of Power. Yes. Josh, you gotta love that. You gotta love that. The Rees of Power.
There we go.
No, God help us.
No,
God
no.
help us. Zax, what is up, brother? How are you
Zax.
doing this morning?
He can't find his voice.
Zach,
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Oh, dude. No,
how dare you?
Thank you for coming. Man, for a minute there, we thought, yeah, he's speechless. It was so bad. He's just speechless.
Well, the thing is actually this really happened. I was watching it last night and I fell asleep. And
Yeah.
and I caught up to it was on the point where she's fighting off the 8 guys at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bed. And that's what I did. So I didn't finish the episode. I'm sorry, guys.
Limbo, hello, can you,
You
go?
didn't miss
How-
much.
Oh my God. This show is so bad. It's almost unbelievable.
Well, we were just saying some of the backdrops, some of the scenes, they look beautiful. It's like
Yes.
it's like some of these scenes look beautiful, but then they open their mouths and either through twattiness or bad writing or them just being up their own asses, it's like,
There's no,
No.
attempt to draw us into this story at all. What if there was a story?
And the I don't know what you'd call her, the priest nun or whatever, you get your reveal of her. Jesus Christ Almighty.
Oh yes,
Or the
yes.
Slim Shady lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slim lady.
What is that?
That's the
good
question.
I don't know.
That's a good question. Who is Slim Shady? Is that okay? So here's a good one. Since we know Sauron the White always wore white. Maybe this is Sauron before the change.
Or a transition.
Before the transition to Sauron.
Yeah.
This is Saruman. This is Saramina. Saramina the White.
This could be the best Saruman ever.
Yeah. Oh man, I'll tell you what, that Galadriel, she is the most insufferable piece of crap I've ever seen in my life.
So Zax, tell me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
we're going to go a little history here, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to go through a little history here. Tell me if I'm wrong, but if I am right, then this was after the Battle of the Second Age, humans discovered hobbits, and they made a deal with the king at the time to take care of a bridge, and he gave them the Shire. All the lands around the Shire, he gave that to them.
That sounds right.
That's basically and the halflings, the hobbits were like, okay, we'll take care of this bridge and keep it, because that's what the king wanted. You keep this bridge taken care of. That way, if our armies have to go through this area, they can go through it over this bridge, and you can have all this land as long as you keep the bridge repaired and in good condition. You can have all these lands, and they agreed to it, and they took it. These people that we're seeing in this show are like, well, we should have just taken the wheels off their cart and left them for dead. Let the wolves
Yeah.
fucking eat him.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I could not believe that. Like that is the darkest Hobbit you can imagine. Like the whole idea of their lifestyle is bad enough, but every episode it gets worse. And like people wrote this, and then they thought this is like we'll pass it through quality control, and then like there's even a guy there with a microphone during the shooting, and he's not saying this is really bad. Like all the way down the line, cast, crew, everyone, they thought this was probably okay. And you've butchered the hobbits, which are like a key figure. If you say it'd be weird to be a Middle Earth without hobbits, if that's your story, then make them at least be hobbits. These are not like these are Harfoots are the evil version of hobbits. It's ridiculous.
And let's not forget, one of them threatened to cut the wheels off of the caravan wagon because they didn't trust the giant. Like, remove their wheels so that they're stranded and left to die.
Yeah.
Why do we care about these people? These are awful, awful people.
But then seconds later is, of course, just happens to be the one who needs to be saved.
Yeah.
By him, right?
I was rooting for the wolves.
I know.
And Chris Persia says, if Harfoot Sammy singing that song that becomes Gandalf's poem isn't a hint to the stranger becoming Gandalf, and it's the best red herring Amazon has created. Wouldn't it be a bitch if that turns out to be Sauron? I don't think it's going to be. I've gone back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, I bet you that's going to be Sauron. Oh, no, it's not going to be Sauron. Oh, it's going to be Gandalf. No, it's going to be Sauron. But yeah, no. I think
they're never gonna give him a name. I don't think he's ever gonna be named.
Well, see, I was under the impression that they can't make it Gandalf or any of the wizards because their arrival is specifically mentioned by Tolkien, and they can't directly contradict anything that Tolkien directly said.
All they have to go on is the appendices.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who knows? They're so uncreative and boring.
June Wong with $5 super chat says, everyone please pray for Shade Versity. He looked like he had a stroke after watching this episode of Rings of Power.
I saw a little bit of that. He did.
And you know what? I thought for a minute, I apparently I slept wrong last night, but I was having shoulder pain. I was like, oh my God, am I going to, oh no, it's in the right shoulder. I took some pain meds right before the show, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm ready to go. But for a minute there, I was like, oh no, it's on the right side. Okay. Because as many times as I went, oh my God, it's insufferable. Especially Galadriel. Everything with Galadriel's like, my God, it's like that annoying neighbor girl that's up her own ass.
Everything is about her. Yeah, everything is about her. She has absolutely no use for anything but her wants and desires. She has no clue that other people, may have needs too.
And Cardinal send the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so very much, brother. Says skull to the great Stone Loki. Thank you, Cardinal send so very much. And he throws out another one that says, for a $9.99 super chat, the Astari didn't exist during the Second Age. Well, just for that, brother, we're going to burn that son of a bitch down. So here you go. Skull! I wonder if we could convince Smog to come back and just burn everything in this showdown. As pissed as I was at the end of Desolation of Smog, as pissed off as I was, and I really did get up in the theater and start shouting and cussing out and telling Peter Jackson to F off and telling Warner Brothers to F off right there in the theater, flipping off the screen because of, dear God, what have we done? Nothing compares to this. I will go back and I will watch all 3 Hobbit movies ad nauseum before I will watch this season of freaking Rings of Power again. I will. It's that bad.
Could you imagine rewatching this show again the entire season?
Oh no.
No.
I
Like,
can't
that's
even
a
hardly get
Unfortunately,
through
I
one
can't.
watch.
Unfortunately, I can because I'm compiling notes for a season-long review.
Oh no. I'm
God
sorry to hear
help
that.
you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing that, and I don't care how long the video is. If it's 4 or 5 hours in order to get through it all, I will. The video could be a season. I don't care. There's so much wrong.
So Zach, you watched the
Yeah.
sword fight. You watched.
Yes.
You ended at the sword fight.
I did. I did into the sword fight.
Oh
I did.
God.
We were laughing.
I can't
Yeah.
believe that. Like that's one of the most ridiculous scenes I've ever watched. And this is not a Mel Brooks movie. Like if this was a Mel Brooks movie, I could accept that scene as being okay. Well, that's what this is. This is satire. Like that was satire, but unintentional satire, which is the weirdest kind of satire. Then at the end, Hallbrand gets his like big moment of he kicked up a sword from the ground, and she was like, "Oh, that's impressive," But it's not that impressive, but at least we saw him do something. He picked up a sword. He cleaned up after someone else. So that was great.
So you missed this. This is one of the greatest scene in television history, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
She
no.
goes and apologizes to Hallbrand. She's like, "I am so sorry that I involved you in all of this." And then she goes,
I'm so
"But
sorry.
I must."
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm
Go
so sorry
ahead.
that I used you, but allow me to continue using you.
Oh yeah, it's very much I'm sorry I used you and involved you in all this, but I must now use you and involve you in all of this.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
If she was trolling him, it'd be funnier. Like we could do that. You can go one step further with this show, and it's actually just straight comedy.
Yeah. I mean that's pretty much the way I've had to watch it. Is it's got to be. This has to be a joke. This has to be a big joke. This all has to be a big joke.
Almost like Monty Python, that damn sword fight.
I expect the entire cast to come out at the end of this and get on a Broadway stage and be like, "Somebody up somewhere must love me." Dun, 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 dun. And it'd just be like, they all bow and thanks for coming to the joke. We made a joke of Tolkien's work. Thank you. Everybody take a bow. Joker voice for $5. Guy Ladriel uses Not Sauron to get her war effort started. Gets called out for it and expects a thank you from Not Sauron. She wants to bang him.
Yep, I think actually even said that when we were watching it.
After what I actually watched the sword fight twice, which was a mistake, but I want to see what I missed. And so, if you watch it, it's worse than you think it is because it's very much Throne Room, Last Jedi.
Yep.
Yes.
Sword fight.
Yes.
It's like that's what it was, and her swords are in place way before the guys even start to swing. So she's blocking before they even made the attack. It's unreal.
It's
very
poorly choreographed.
Oh,
we said that during the scene. We actually said that this is the Last Jedi bad.
I also love that the fight. I also love that the fight went into someone's shopping stall and she's destroying someone's goods. It's like, what? Come on, you have plenty of open space.
Get out in the square. Leave my storefront alone.
And even
we don't get Disa.
Oh yeah, we didn't. But even this wasn't just her doing this because we know how bad she is, and it's 8 dudes that she's fighting at the same time. But think about this: it was like watching the parent, or the coach of the hockey team with the 6-year-olds, and he decides he's going to try, and so he scores 30 goals on the 6-year-olds and goes home like he's taught them something. But really, he's just ruined their day. And the one kid who gets a shot on goal, he celebrates because it's like, oh well, great. Congratulations, you got one shot in. You almost touched me. And that's it. That was the goal, was to make contact with her, period.
I agree.
It's not it doesn't train them to be better fighters or anything.
No.
Because when you're training against someone who's so vastly superior to you, you're not going to get any better. So what's the point?
Well, her advice was stab them. Thanks, Galadriel.
Gut.
Stab and twist.
Gut.
Stab
and twist.
Great advice. There's going to be so many memes for this.
I know. Stab, twist, and gut. Just like there were so many memes for lives. I still can't get over $1 billion. $1 billion for this.
Yeah.
And guys, if you're wondering, well, why hasn't Loki started explaining the way the episode went? Because I honestly can't. It's an incoherent mess that goes from one scene to the next. There is no coherent
There's no flow.
story. There's no flow at all. It's all background. There is no substance. It is all background. There is no substance. I'm sorry, but if you come out with if you're at a fancy restaurant and you come out with a plate of nicely spaced greens with no meat, I'm gonna be like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? This is like, well, oh, the chef said it's art, sir. Well, take the art back and bring me back a fucking steak. I don't want art. I want a meal. Not and that's exactly the way I feel about this show. You've got all this background that looks pretty, and then there's just nothing there to fill it.
You know what? I love that analogy because it is like that. It's like something you ordered a steak and they brought you a bunch of lettuce that's loosely shaped like a steak, and they're like, "Here, enjoy." And like, this is not meat. There's nothing here.
And what's the point of that? To fill up on green?
I have to ask you guys a question. When you saw the runtime, the length of this episode, did you die a little bit? And
yeah,
how much?
I did.
Yeah, because we start. Okay, so guys, we start watching this right around 6:45. It takes me about 15 minutes to get up, to get a drink, sit down on the computer, get everything loaded up, get everything ready. So at 6:45, I send out the invites and we start watching. As soon as I saw the hour and 17-minute runtime, I was like, no.
And when you start telling yourself, get longer.
I want longer episodes of Cobra Kai. I can't get that, and I get uber long episodes of Lord of the Rings, Wangs of Power, Rees of Power, whatever you want to call it. It's unfair. Life is not fair.
When you start cheering for longer credits and a recap at the beginning, so there's less to watch, you have a horrible show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Getting through that. Yeah, let's just get through this. We're going to get through this, guys. There's only 3 more episodes left after this.
And we haven't even gotten to the butchering of the mithril. Jeez.
Did you catch it?
Well, hold on. Okay. But before we move on to that, I do want to also point out what was the overall story? What was the Numenor story for this episode? At the end of the last episode, they decide they're going to leave for Middle Earth. And then at the end of this episode, they actually leave for Middle Earth. The entire story on Numenor was getting the boats ready and
delay.
Yep. And blowing up a couple boats.
Yeah.
I think the story for
that's
Numenor
all that happened.
Was they suck. That's the story. They suck.
Yeah.
Thank God for Galadriel showing up. That's all that is.
Some of the finest warriors of Middle Earth bested by a 5-foot elf.
I thought the jail scene was bad, where she breaks out and some 5 guys walk into the cell for her. This was so much worse.
Yeah, it was. They thought they looked cool. They thought they looked so cool with all the choreographed fighting and everything. It's just no. This is stupid.
This was the actress that has said she had to go for PTSD counseling because of her fight scenes.
Yeah,
can you imagine?
Yeah.
I think that when you were kids and you're having sword fights with paper towel rolls or wrapping paper rolls with your friends, the big cardboard things, like we had better fight scenes than this. We had way better choreography.
Dude,
we had
trash can lids and sticks.
Yeah,
we had He-Man swords, we had Voltron swords, we had ninja swords, and I mean we do like Mortal Kombat tournament style beatdowns.
Oh yeah,
when I was a kid, and this does nowhere near what the shit we used to do.
I think our effects might be better when we were kids, making sound effects and stuff.
Lightsabers and
oh yeah,
God help me.
I mean, the amount of times as a kid I would like pick up a.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
that's it.
Like, yeah.
I'm
more
just
seasons.
if they make it, I can't see. So overnight they deleted. Apparently yesterday they deleted like over 4,000 reviews, replaced them overnight. Amazon's getting its ass kicked and handed to it by House of the Dragon. They didn't spend half the money that they spent on each episode. So we're talking 20 million per episode for House of the Dragon, 40 million episode for Rings of Power, and they spent even more because they spent $250 million on the appendices. They spent almost that much on advertising, and then 40 million a piece per episode. They are getting their ass handed to them by HBO.
Well,
I thought it was. I thought they gave the Tolkien. I thought they gave the Tolkien estate 500 million.
I think it was 250.
Yeah, it was $250 million for the appendices. Now I don't know if they gave them anything else after that, but it was $250 million to the right for the appendices, and there's a loophole in the rights saying that they can make up to 8 episodes per season. But they cannot go over 8 episodes.
Yeah,
that is part of the deal.
And no less than 6 or 5 or something like that.
That's right. I think it's 4 or 5, but they have no wiggle room there, none.
Lucky
so it's how they are fighting every which way to make it seem like this is a success. They're doing everything they can. They're saying that, especially content creators, they have gone directly after content creators on YouTube and said, we're all obes, and Yahtzees that hate this show. We're all misogynistic men that hate women. And it's not. It's crap. This is crap. You want to give us a strong, kick-ass chick? There are a million different ways you can give us a strong, kick-ass female character that's not an absolute insufferable twat. We're not talking about you, Bree.
Yeah. They even went so far as to try to buy some of the larger channels to give them good reviews, but got caught at it.
Or how
they
about
got
the
called
fact
out,
that,
yes.
And how about the fact that panel of they brought over, not a single one of them has reviewed the show.
Nope. Hadn't done anything since the original broadcast. Nothing.
Yeah, the Uber fan sacks. You remember how they came out with the Uber fan review people? They haven't done one single review for this show. None of them have.
Well, they weren't, I don't know, like they're not big channels. I don't know, maybe they are, but there was a bigger channel that came out and said that they signed a non-disparaging agreement with Amazon. They forced to sign it. So it's not a non-disclosure, but they can't say anything bad about the show, and their reviews have to get vetted. So like that's come out. Like this person talked about it on a show. So that explains a lot. And the people who say nothing probably have nothing good to say at this point.
So I'm just getting to the point where I'm learning about sponsors. Yeah, of course, we all know about sponsors. We know about like, oh, well, hey guys, have you tried out this game or have you tried out this product or blah 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 on your videos?
Raid Shadow Legends, yeah.
When you go into that, you don't just say, yes, I want to do this. Okay. You do not agree just right out of the bat. Send me some more information. Let me look over what exactly you want me to do. I will get back to you and let you know if I'm interested. That is pretty much the response you want to give them. That is a fair initial response of, well, you know what? Tell me what you want me to do, and I will consider whether I want to do it or not. But give me all the facts. I'm not signing some blind ass contract that says I have to show for you and be up your ass for your product. If I like your product, great. If I don't, I'm not going to do it. That's just the way it is. And these people that have signed these contracts with Amazon that are like, oh my God, it's Amazon. Yeah. Your hands are tied behind your back and you've got to bend the knee. I'm not bending the knee. for anything ever. For any product, I will not bend the knee. If I like your product and I want to promote your product, I will. I will consider it. I will look at it, but I'm not just going to be like, oh my God, it's the bestest ever. It's not going to happen.
Well, and what this person had said was this was in defense of the fact that they've said good things about the shows. They were saying the contract doesn't say they can't say that they can. It says they can't say bad things. It doesn't say they have to say good things. So everything they said that's good that they liked is then valid because that they weren't forced to say that. They just couldn't give criticism. Like that's where we're at. Like splitting hairs right now with that.
So you basically you can't say anything negative about the show.
Right. But anything you say that's positive is coming from the heart. Like, get out of here.
No, anything positive you say is coming from your paycheck.
Exactly.
This is why I got into this. I got into this because I got tired of people saying, you cannot say anything about this. You have no right, either as a male, as a guy, as a whatever. You're an instant open Yahtzee if you say anything about this ever, especially with Star Trek. That's what got me here, is I'm going to give you my unfiltered opinion. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna mince words. I'm not gonna split hairs like Zach says. I'm gonna give you my opinion. If you sell out, guess what? You're a fucking sellout. Doesn't matter whether you do it for another channel. It doesn't matter whether you do it for a company. It doesn't matter whether you do it for an author. If you sell out, you are a sellout. Why are you promoting a product you do not like? That's simple.
Money, 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 money.
That's a sellout.
And you cannot come back from that. There's a certain point where it's going to become obvious what you're doing, and if there is no coming back from that as a critic. You can't. No one's going to believe you anymore. Even people with low oxygen levels may believe you, but most people are not going to believe you with any of your criticisms going forward, which in turn hurts your value. To
That's
these
right.
companies too. Like you're worth nothing because your word is worth nothing.
That's right.
Look at Kevin Smith.
Right. Good call.
Yeah.
So a really good channel member out there, Rod Thunderheart, sent me his book, See Through Love. I have not had a chance to read that book yet. I am not going to sit here and tell you guys, hey, get Rod Thunderheart's book. It's absolutely great when I haven't read it yet. And I feel absolutely terrible that I have not read his book yet. I'm working my way there. When I get there, I will give you guys a review. I will give him a shout out. I'll let you know how I think. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh my God, get Rod Thunderheart's book when I haven't even read it myself yet. But that's pretty much what these people are doing with Lord of the Rings is, oh my God, it's so great. And I like this and I like this and I'm giving you all this when they can't say anything negative about it. They've sold out. Rod didn't pay me to review his book. He just sent me his book and said, hey, and I wouldn't have taken his money if he would have anyway. Adega Outlaw the same way. Adega Outlaw has never paid me a dime. I would never ask of anything like that from Adega Outlaw, ever. I promote his book because I love his work. That's what we should be doing as reviewers. Why are we at this why are we here again with content creators when content creators are here to give their unbiased, honest opinion? That's why people turn to us in the first place, because the critics have sold out. Campy and all those other sons of bitches, they sold out a long fucking time ago. They kiss the ass of these corporations like Disney, Amazon, all these fucks because they pay them to. That is not what we do. We give you our honest, unbiased opinion. So anybody that sells the fuck out is a sellout. That is what they are. And I'm not going to be afraid to call them that when they sell out and they kiss ass. Even that one irritating blonde bitch that Dave Bob absolutely loves with their shrieky ass voice said this is shit.
I beg to differ with you.
So here's the thing.
Well.
Well, she's amazing. I do my best to balance what I bring in. So I have sought out people who like the show or say they do, and looked at some of their stuff. And recently I was watching The Token Professor, who's horrible. One of his highlights of an episode last week was that Elrond said his father's name, Arundel. That was the highlight. He said a word. And he's like, that could mean all these things. And then I look through the comments and they're mostly positive, probably fake. And then there's criticism saying, like, here's an issue. One was very legitimate. And the response in the comments from other people watching were, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Like, you guys don't want that, because if anyone who doesn't like the show or is critical of it doesn't watch it, there is no more show, period. Because that means no one is watching this except for maybe you. Sorry, ranty, but like.
No, it's a ranty morning.
It is.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
There was I'm not going to name any names, but there was a content creator that was running around telling people, if you do not like Star Trek Lower Decks, do not watch it. This motherfucker built his channel on talking shit about STD. And he's going around telling other content creators, if you don't like Star Trek Lower Decks, don't watch it. You can kiss my fat fucking ass, bitch. You made your bones talking shit about Star Trek Discovery. Don't give me that shit. And this is where we're at. This is where you're at. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Kiss my ass. If I'm going to review it, I'm going to review it. This is the same shit as that bitch saying, if you don't like my politics, don't read my book. I'm not going to buy your book, bitch. I'm not going to pay for it.
And what happened with that? We can remember that one, right?
Oh, yeah.
How did the comic industry recover from that? It didn't.
It hasn't.
Oh, dude. Did you hear the other day when I was talking about the percentages of that company that does nothing but keep track of book sales in the United States?
No.
76% of the books sold in the United States, this goes through Walmart, Target, Books A Million, all the big bookstores, Amazon. This company keeps track of everything. 76% of the sales in the United States are manga. 2% is the United States comic book industry.
Wow.
76 fucking percent is manga, Japanese manga. 2% is U.S. comic book industry. The comic book industry is dying. Yes.
Oh, it's dead. Except for the indie comics.
Yeah, and the people who work in mainstream comics can't make money because they don't pay them anymore either. So the people who are any good have to leave the mainstream comics. And Frost as well. In the chat, someone brought that up. Same thing. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Well,
okay,
we won't. What happens?
Karma's a bitch.
It is.
That was glorious.
Frostbitten. Joker, take care, my friend. Thank you so much for coming by, brother. You're always welcome. Have a great one. Have an absolute great one. That 2% has to be spawned in collections. Oh. Mithril.
Yeah. Mithril.
Yeah.
That is the most butchered thing I've ever seen in my life. There is nothing. We're just going to fade away into darkness. By spring, no less.
Oh, yeah, Zax, you missed that.
Yeah.
The tree, the elven tree in Gondolin is rotting. And the only way they're going to be able to save the elves is by sprinkling mithril over every single elf to save the light of the elves. I have no idea. That's why Gil-galad is building the giant forge. That's why they sent Galadriel away to try and stop the tree from rotting. They said, "Oh, it must be Galadriel. Send that bitch away."
Are you serious?
I'm fucking serious. This is at the end of the episode.
Yep.
So Gil-galad and Elrond. Gil-galad brings Elrond to the tree and shows him that the tree is rotting and tells him, "We weren't honest with you. Celebrimbor and I weren't honest with you. We need the mithril. We found out about the dwarves' mithril, and Gil-galad or Celebrimbor tested it somehow in every which way that an elf can test metal. And if we sprinkle it on ourselves or some shit, then we can save the light of the elves and keep the elves on Middle Earth. We're dwindling and dying." Before the battle of the Second Age, which elves were at their height, they're now dwindling and dying because their trees rotting in Gondolin.
So, okay. This is like people going.
I know it's a lot to process, isn't it?
To sell, it is trying to sell you crystals to heal you. Like this is they're going to sprinkle a metal on your head and you're going to be fine. Like that's what this is, and I can't believe that's what they're going with. This could be like a kind of. I mean, if the dwarves are doing this as like almost like a pyramid scheme where they're gonna up the price of mithril to tell the elves, hey, if you don't get this on your head, you're gonna disappear. Like I could see that as an angle, and then that would be a good comedy because this show is satire.
And as Soul Assassin, the elves have one, and the Numenorians have one. The one that's in Gondor was brought by a seed. There was a seed of that tree that is in Numenor. They brought a seed of that tree to Gondor and planted it and grew that white tree there. But the tree that's in Gondolin, the tree that's in the land of the elves, that's like the one that was split. So that's like its sister tree. Yeah, I know it's confusing.
So I have to ask too, why is Bronwyn in charge? What's that?
Because she's a strong, independent woman.
Yeah, we were discussing that. Yeah, who left you in charge, bitch?
And then the comedically evil guy, Pied Piper dude, takes the people with him.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened to them?
That's the bartender.
Yeah. Did you see what happened to them, Zax?
No.
Okay, the young kid that mouthed off to Cool Ocean Breeze? Okay, so basically they pull him down to the ground and they throw, what's his name? The old man that talked to...
Well
first
so
off,
when the group left, when the group left, they went to where the orcs are with the evil elf guy.
Yeah, right. So they're there, and he's like, I pledge my loyalty to Sauron, and the elf looks down at him and is like, who says I follow Sauron? And he's like, well, then I pledge my allegiance to you. And he throws a dark dagger on the ground. They pin the young little friend that mouthed off to Cool Ocean Breeze to the ground. And he tells him the only way that we can be bound is by blood. So kill him.
Wow.
And they do a cut scene. They do a cut scene just before the deed.
Wow. And who hasn't figured out yet that that strong whammon Wonderbra, that her son isn't Cool Ocean's kid?
He totally is. Totally is.
Oh,
and they found them like
Theo, yes.
And they found like a, and they also found a altar to Sauron's mask carved into it or something. That was weird.
The Punisher's mask.
Okay, so there's a wall in that keep that they were in.
Okay.
And Cool Ocean pulls back all the vines, and there is a carving of Sauron with the mask he has on in Lord of the Rings in the movie, the helmet. It's like a drawn, carved picture of his helmet that he has on at the beginning of Fellowship with the sword that they have the handle of.
Oh yeah, Theo
What
also
a show.
told them about
And it's a key. It's a key. Somehow it's a key to something.
Well, I guess this is like kind of like an SJW thing because they managed to go and the white guy who said something mean to the black guy got what he deserves.
Yeah.
Like,
and immediately Bronn, when she wants to give up too, she just, we can't do nothing. She asks him how long it will be before they get attacked, and then it's it could be days or it could be hours, and then this tower will fall, and they look up at the tower like, oh, what are we gonna do?
More
Well,
mystery
guys,
box bullshit. Yes, Soul says.
Yep.
Go ahead, Zach.
I was just gonna say, like, okay, it's probably for the best. Let's be honest, that the people in the tower all die, like, because these are the people who went to a siege and did not bring food with them to a siege. Let's let them go.
Yeah.
They left it all behind.
They brought 5 potatoes with them.
You know what? If you were going on a journey, what's the first thing you're going to think about taking with you?
Food.
Food. You know what I'm
Food,
going to do in October when I head to Dallas? I'm going to have a cooler with drinks and food. That way I don't have to stop. I can just drive. Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about any of that. First thing I'm thinking about is, food. Sandwiches, some Cheetos, something fun to have on the road. Some drinks. Yeah.
And let's make it even. Let's expand that. So let's say you're going camping for a month, right? And who does that? But if you did do that, great, good for you. Go camping for a month. Do you bring enough food for 15 minutes, or do you bring enough food for a month?
Bring enough food for a month.
Well, yeah. This is not hard.
Even if you're expecting to fish, hunt, whatever, you still bring food.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. That way, if you don't get lucky, you still have food to eat for that month that you're going to be gone.
Because people wrote this and they're like, you know what? We won't have them bring food. And everyone's like, at the table, the 30 writers like, hey, that's a great idea. You would never bring food with you to a siege.
Even though that's
hashtag bring food to the siege, dumbass.
Yes.
Davies.
Yeah, that's true. I love that. That's good. Oh, it's just they screw up the easiest stuff. The common sense stuff. You can't order a pizza, man, Squash, right? So you're in trouble. I don't want to be mad at TV. I don't want to be mad at TV, but I'm mad at TV for this.
Uber Eats.
A Harfoot shows up. Yes, I'm with DoorDash. Yeah, with your siege food and supplies.
And how far do the Harfoots migrate? Dear God, it's across the entire continent.
Yeah, I mean, it would take them It would take them 2 or 3 years to travel what they supposedly do in less than from one season to the next.
And Mags, good morning, Mags. How are you doing?
Good to see you, Mags.
Mr. I totally missed this. I'm sorry, Mr. Tickle Trunk. I hope you're still there. Mr. Tickle Trunk says 20 producers walked away with most of the money for Rings of Power. Maybe it's their fault. This whole cheap thing reeks of studio notes and ignorance. I did not know that. Mr. Tickle, 20 producers walked away. Maybe it's their fault.
I hadn't heard that.
No, I hadn't heard
Thank
that
you
either.
for the $5 super chat, brother. It's absolutely insane.
Monty
Pizza
Python.
Tower.
Run
Pizza
away.
Tower.
Run
Pizza
away.
to go. Pizza to go on Middle Earth. Pizza Tower.
Oh, yeah.
So
rations are part of D&D basic supplies. Yes. Go ahead, Josh.
Did you notice, like, while they were showing like the footage of the Harfoot's migration, you saw like broken down carts from other trips that they've made? It's like, why are you going along these dangerous paths?
And there's dead animals because, like, you would never use your beasts of burden to carry your stuff with you. Like, oh, maybe you could use the food to carry your food to the siege, right? No.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it there. We're going to leave our cattle. Are you nuts?
We're going to leave our goats. We're going to leave our cattle. We're going to leave anything that can help us survive. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It makes Andor look good. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the sad part. Yeah, it does. It's so bad, it makes other things look good.
And not all who won or lost. I'm glad Gandalf doesn't get that original thought anymore.
The one thing we did get to see finally was the armor of the Numenorians and Galadriel. And as they were leaving the harbor, they were all standing. They'll still be standing when they get to wherever they're going, because they never sit down when you're traveling by ship.
Yes, that's right. That's what they do. Any boat trip you've ever been on, you stand on the deck the entire time, no matter how long it is. Standing
in your
still.
armor. In your armor.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of salty sea air.
And 100 people at least are on each ship, and those ships don't look big enough to hold more than maybe 30 or 40.
But you're using common sense, which is a mistake for this.
Oh no, I absolutely agree. Nobody on the show has common sense. Nobody writing the show has common sense. The scissoring hens are out in full force, and they know better than everybody else.
The very best part of this whole show was when Duran played the trick about the table.
Oh, the Adisa's new table?
Yeah. Where did you get the table? The stone only grows, in certain depths. Whenever we find it, we use it for special things.
Oh my god!
You gotta go back and see that part, Zax. You really do, because basically, Duran is at dinner with Gandalf, or not Gandalf, with Elrond and Gil-galad, and he basically knocks on the table. Where'd you get this table? Gil-galad looks at him. He's like, "We only use this type of rock because it grows so deep and there's so rare of it for our funerals. This is what we use to bury our dead in."
Oh my god!
And yeah, right. And then this is why the dwarves so far have been the best part of this show. The elves are gonna carry it by hand back to Khazad-dûm, and he's like, "I've been promising to get Disa a new table."
They are the only part of the show that's somewhat enjoyable, and so I'm going to go watch the rest of the episode for sure. But I think what we could do is, California has a crime problem, and I have a solution. If you're caught shoplifting, you have to watch Rings of Power.
Oh.
That's cruel and unusual pun.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, it is. It is. Maybe it'll make a difference.
Yeah, man. I can imagine we were laughing our ass off on the sword fight. That was a laugh fest.
That is Last of the Jedi 2, Last Jedi bad. This is Last Jedi bad. That sword fight was Last Jedi bad. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had the same choreographer come in and do the exact same scenes with her in that sword fight.
Yep. Pod Racing Palpatine, the dwarf is a troll.
The dwarf is a troll. That's perfect, really. So this is a minor thing, but I watched this and saw this talk about this on another channel, Floral's channel, actually. And they showed the dagger where Halbrand gets the dagger back from the guards to give it to Galadriel. This is a couple episodes ago. And if you watch it frame by frame, the dagger is enormous, first of all. And he quote unquote palms it, and then but it just appears. Like, it's not in one frame. In the next frame, it's in his hand and he's handing it to her. Like, they didn't plan out any of this. This is just nonsense. There's the sword fight that may be the highlight. It may get worse from there, guys, because I've heard the first two episodes are the best. And we're seeing that, which is so sad.
Yeah.
And the first two episodes weren't even that good.
No, they were bad.
Magitech Mags with a $5 super chat says, "I realized why Galadriel has a tempest within her. She's constipated and needs to rip a big loud fart." Thank you so very much, Mags, for that $5 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and this one's just for you, Mags. Skull!
A doll? I've never seen a doll. Nobody's got a doll. Let us
that's a dollar bill.
Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill. Mr. Tickle Trunk. Let me see. I think you're talking about the 20 producers. I did read that out. I'm sorry if you missed it. I'll read it out again, though. No problem. 20 producers walked away with most of the money for Rings of Power. Maybe it's their fault. This whole cheap thing reeks of studio notes and ignorance. I agree. I absolutely agree. So,
did Elrond teleport this episode at all?
No, they were in Gondolin.
Linden.
They were actually
Linden.
walking between.
I keep calling Gondolin. Linden, yes.
Yeah, they were actually walking through the woods with the table. I mean, they're going to carry it.
They are. Yeah, we weren't kidding about that, brother.
Oh my God.
We weren't kidding about that. One of the elves like almost loses it, and like they catch it and they straighten it. He's like, "Be careful with that table." Oh, and you're like, "Yeah, they're gonna carry it all the way from Linden to Khazad-dûm."
Oh my God! It's there and back again. The table story.
Yeah.
Best part of the show.
Oh wow.
Like,
that's where we are.
It's like credit where it's due. That joke actually kind of worked. It was funny.
We have no idea where the table lies ahead. Oh my God.
Oh, so okay, when not Sam was about to sing, did any of you just pray she didn't? Like, don't please.
Yes,
do this.
don't.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, she's singing, but it's going to be very short. They'll be like, she'll hum a line or two. Not now. I'm watching a musical, and it's a bad one.
Yeah, and at the very end, during the credits, we had to turn it off because we couldn't listen to it anymore.
Oh, I bet.
And Kizzy 0975, apparently not. Galadriel explains that nothing is about strength. It's all about speed and dexterity.
Yeah.
Nothing involves strength.
Sword fighting is about balance.
Yep.
Balance. BALANCE. Balance.
Strength has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Strength has nothing to do with it. Oh, bullshit.
Like, yes,
Two men
balance
and a
is
table.
important. Like, yes,
Yeah,
balance is absolutely important when in sword fighting, but so is strength.
Uh-huh.
6 elves and a dwarven table. The new show come to Amazon Prime this winter. 6 elves and a dwarven table.
I'd watch it.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Guess who's coming to dinner? Yes.
A table. A table is coming to dinner.
A table. Issa's table. Issa's new table.
Two dwarves, an elf, and a table.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing this stuff now, this table thing.
That's the best part of the whole show.
It really is.
How he gets that damn table and watching the elves take it. Oh, they're going to carry it. 6 elves, 3 on each side, carrying the table all the way back to Khazad-dûm.
The table, the nice flat table, has more of an arc than Galadriel does.
And that table, from the size of it, and if it is rock, that thing has to weigh at least 1.5 tons.
You know what would enjoy? I would enjoy if the show decided just to go off and turn this into like a home renovation show, like Trading Places.
Yes.
We're like the elves decorate the dwarves' homes and the dwarves decorate the elves' homes. Let's do that instead. Just
Queer
go all
eye
in.
for the straight
Why
elf.
not? Yes, yeah. Oh well, there's no straight elves, I don't think. But if there was one, yeah, they'd be on the show.
Dean Krantz has now on Prime, The Mobile Feast. Really, it is a party wherever they roam. Lambus bread for Middle Earth. Why are you carrying a table around? We're doing Lambus bread for Middle Earth, a new charity here in Middle Earth to feed the poor Harfoots. You mean the little bastards that live to die being eaten by wolves and beasts? Why, yes, fuck them little shits.
Yeah, we'll kneecap them and take their wheels.
Happy dinosaur.
Oh. Did anyone else notice?
Unexpected journey.
There you go. You know what? The memes are going to be endless for this. I didn't know about the table. This is going to be fantastic.
More like Queer Eye for the Straight Dwarf. Solo
Dwarf fight for
assassin. Have any of you guys seen that Lord of the new video where it's like the pronouns of the rings?
No.
Look up pronouns of the rings. Oh my god, it's absolutely hilarious. 3 for the twinks. Skinniest and queerest of them all. 7 for the power bottoms, and the dwarves have like leather gear on. 7 for the power bottoms, and 9 for the race of whammons, who above all else desire power, and they've got metal all over their fucking faces, piercings, and they're all clicking on their phones, and they look evil as fuck.
Oh.
And then it goes to Sauron. And then it goes to Sauron, and it's like, but in the land of Twitter, the one pronoun was made, they/them.
I have to
to
find
rule
that.
them all. Oh my god, yes, pronouns of the rings, ladies and gentlemen. I will get the video.
Have you guys noticed that the hard feet are essentially locusts? They just go and descend on an area, strip it bare, and then move on. And they're the good guys, though. They're a pestilence.
They're pestilence.
And they're also nasty as crap to each other. You know, hey, I'm gonna leave your ass behind.
Oh, yeah. Pronouns of power.
I'm looking for it. I'm gonna pull it up. Oh, final thoughts, guys. Any final thoughts on this horrible episode? I found it.
Well, when something,
just a second, I'll throw it out in chat.
When
Mr.
something is considered the best part is a table joke, that kind of tells you what the point of this is. You know, it's pretty bad.
I'm not going to play this. I'm going to share it, but I'm not going to play it.
Right.
Give me just a second.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it is. I would highly recommend this show if you need a sleep aid.
Yep.
It's so boring.
Well,
like we've said, the table joke was the best part. That's really sad.
Megs is talking about the Irish accents, and so I want to say that it took me longer to watch this episode last night because I had to go find a version, legally find a version that had subtitles already, because I could not understand what she was saying, Nori or Lori and whatever she is, what she was saying to not Gandalf. I had no idea what that was. Like, those were words.
Oh my god.
3 for the twinks. 3 for the twinks. 7 for the power bottoms. And 9. 9 for the race of whammon, who above all else desire power.
Oh,
they're all too thin.
True.
TikTok, Facebook, Tumblr, right? But
Instagram,
it is
Twitter.
This
it is in the land of tweeter. Sea of hatred.
Valley of Despair is off to the. You have to cross the Valley of Despair to get to Twitter.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah, this is yeah. And there's Sauron. And there's the one pronoun to rule them all.
That's amazing.
So the link for this is in the chat, guys. Check this out. The more views it gets, the better, because this alone smashes the show and just obliterates it. I'm so pissed off that they have done this to they've done this to Lord of the Rings. I'm just and one cock to rule them all. God help us.
Yep.
Anything you guys want to throw out before we get out of here?
The show sucks.
Don't watch. Don't watch.
Guys, we'll be back later tonight for the late show with Mexican Iron Man. But until then, stay safe, be excellent to each other, stay humble, always speak friend to enter. We'll see you guys next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.